Hi everybody, I'm Leah of seejanedrill, and as you can see here, what we have is a water shutoff valve, or a supply valve. Usually you'll find it under a sink or going to feeding a toilet, okay? Now, it's not so much the valve that I want to show or talk to you about, it's what lies beneath this nut right here. So, here we go. We just follow my finger down. And on the floor here, this is a ferrule, okay? That's a ferrule. It's made out of brass, and it serves a purpose, okay? This ferrule is clamped tightly to a copper pipe that rests underneath that compression nut. So what happens is when you go to remove an old water supply valve, okay, because it may be leaking, you have to remove that ferrule, and that ferrule is sometimes it's almost impossible to get off that pipe. So this is where this tool here comes in handy. Now, you may be asking, well, Leo, what the heck is that tool? Well, I'll tell you. It's an ingenious tool. In fact, I spoke with the designer, a man named Dick English, called him on the phone, and I told him, I said, Dick, I'm really intrigued by your sleeve puller. It's so tiny, but it makes pulling ferrules almost effortless. And I'm going to show you today how this thing works. Let's do this. To really show you how the sleeve puller works, let's go back to the shutoff valve. I'll remove all this and you can see how the ferrule wraps around that copper pipe. And then we'll pull it. Here's the thing. Sometimes those brass ferrules, that brass ferrule there, it comes off really easily, slides right off. But sometimes it doesn't. And that's where the problem comes in, because how do you get a tool around that, right, to get that ferrule off of there? Well, that's where the sleeve puller comes in. I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to use this tool. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken the water supply valve and I've set it next to the tool. Now, what you'll notice is both the water supply valve and the tool have threads on the outside, and that's the beauty of this tool. It's going to screw in just like the water supply valve screws in to the compression nut. Okay, so there's a disc here, okay? You got to screw the bottom. There's a nut here. You want to screw it so that this disc is recessed inside the tool. Okay, can you see how it's recessed in? So we've got it recessed. Now I'm going to take the tool and I'm going to insert it over the pipe. Now I'm going to take the compression nut and I'm going to take that compression nut. Remember the threads that we talked about? Well, now I'm going to just tighten the compression nut around the threads of the tool. I want to tighten this up a little bit. You don't have to over tighten it, just tighten it up a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wrench and I'm going to place it on the end of the tool. This is the end of the sleeve puller. I'm going to put a wrench on it and I'm going to tighten it. Now you may be saying, Leah, wait, why are you tightening it? Well, what's happening is that disc that I showed you inside the tool, it's going to rest firmly up against the copper pipe and it's going to back the ferrule off along with the nut. So here we go. Just turn it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep turning it until it backs the compression nut and the ferrule off the copper pipe. Here's the thing, I'm not meeting much resistance now, so what that tells me is I probably can just slide it off. There we go. And the ferrule and the nut came off at the same time. That's how that works. That's why I like this tool. It just makes removing ferrules that are stuck on or hard to get to just effortless. Now, the thing about this is I want to give people the opportunity to find this company. Okay, so I'm going to put in the description below the video, I'll put a link to this tool company so you can check it out yourself. This is Leah saying you can Do this. See you next time.